Apple just announced the Apple Watch Series 10, and I had some time to check it out after today's event. The first thing you'll notice about this watch is that it has a big screen. It comes in two sizes. As you can see, this is the smaller size and this is the larger size. Apple says there's 30% more screen area compared to previous watches, and you can really tell just by looking at it. In fact, Apple even says that the screen is larger than the Apple Watch Ultra. This is a sense of what photos look like on the bigger screen, what text looks like. Apple says you'll be able to see more lines of text, which so far does seem to be true, but I'll have to really spend more time with it before I really know for sure. But it's also thinner and lighter, and that's what makes this watch, I think, really appealing, is that you get that big screen on your wrist, but it doesn't feel bulky. And I do think it's going to be an interesting option for those who maybe are eyeballing the Ultra because they want that bigger screen, but they don't feel like they need everything else that comes with the Ultra, so they don't want to spend that high price on it. Just based on what I've seen in Apple's demo room, you can really see the difference, especially compared alongside the Apple Watch Series 9. Part of how Apple got the Series 10 to be so thin is this new back component now has the antenna integrated into it, so that reduces one of the layers. In addition to just having that bigger screen on your wrist, I do think the reduction in weight is going to be really helpful for those who want to wear their watch as a sleep tracker. You know, if you wear it overnight, you want something that's light and comfortable, and I think these changes are going to go a long way in making it more appealing in that sense. And that's important because Apple also has more competition in this space than it has ever before. Now that smart rings are starting to become more popular, for those who really just want to be able to track their sleep and wear something that's not obtrusive, that could be more appealing than a smartwatch. So I do think it's interesting to see Apple kind of making these optimizations at a time when it's competing with even lighter sleep trackers. Apple is also adding sleep apnea detection to the watch. This follows the direction they've been taking when it comes to adding new health features to the watch. It's not necessarily surprising because we are starting to see other wearables integrate this type of functionality, like Samsung, for example, also announced sleep apnea detection for its own Galaxy watches. The way this works is that the watch will look for a new metric called breathing disturbances, and it'll kind of analyze that over time and let you know if it detects possible signs of sleep apnea. The Apple Watch Series 10 has a water temperature sensor and a depth gauge, so if you're into water sports, you'll be able to use that. And again, this is another way that I think Apple is kind of bridging the gap between its flagship smartwatch and the Apple Watch Ultra, because some of these features, like the larger screen and the water temperature sensor and things like that, were things that were previously exclusive to the Ultra. I was kind of hoping that since Apple brought the action button to the entry-level iPhone with the iPhone 16, that it would do the same thing for the Apple Watch, but we didn't see that this time. But overall, this really does feel like a step forward. I do feel like the difference is going to be more noticeable if you're upgrading from an older Apple Watch, but of course, we will know more once we've had the chance to test it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.